Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Oldham, which is my saying. My Twitter's 9 years old. I've got welcome to Oldham like pre-referendum. Right, so I noticed one of Raja Mia's posts, and a lot of you live in Oldham will know Raja Mia. I know of him. He's very active on social media, and his site is called Recusant 9 or whatever you want to say. That's his site. And the particular post you can see here, Muslim school is rated as inadequate. 9th of June 2017, Blackstone Academy on Middleton Road in Chadderton. Former Chadderton Library. I know the building well. I know it very well. But like this isn't like new. 2017, and it's a Muslim school. And of course, Oldham's the most politically correct town in the UK. I'll just take you to another school. This is Clarksfield Primary School. Now, I visited here with James over a year back and another mate, Dave. We came up here and visited it. And what had happened at the time, the teachers come out, the head teachers come out saying she's getting death threats and things like that. And when Ofsted have gone in, the school's inadequate. And what it is, some of the teaching staff, because they speak Urdu, that gives them the right to like come into the teaching world. And they do this a lot. So the support staff are just people off the area given a job, support staff, because they can speak Urdu. What they don't do, these people can't teach properly. I'll show you this in a minute. On another particular school, these people can't teach properly. They're not teaching the kids properly. The education the kids are getting at these kind of schools is not good enough, which leads them not being clever enough and that's not being nothing in our society. And we allow this. Oldham has allowed it for years. Absolutely allowed it for years. This woman, I have not heard nothing of since this come out. She's obviously been silenced. That's what I would say. She's been silenced. She said there was a Trojan Horse plot to take over a school. That's what they're doing. That's how they do. They do take over our schools with what they want. Anti-terrorism chiefs have been passed a secret report by Oldham Council into allegations of a Trojan Horse attempt to take over a local primary school. So they denied it, right? They denied it. Let's go to it. So that happened in, when was this now? 2017 again. Let's look at another one here. This is called Iqra High School. In Oldham, in the Glodwicker of Oldham. And here, pupils 11 to 16, gender mixed, number of pupils 82, school capacity 100. Now, they said you can have this school as long as it's mixed. When Ofsted went in, it was just all girls. Yeah, just all girls. So our taxpayers paying for all this in Oldham. We don't have any money anyway, it's shit. So 2015, the school was inadequate. In 2015, the school was rated as inadequate and it opened 2014. Another inspection in 2016, another inspection September. June 2017, school standard inadequate. 23rd of May, another inspection. 11th, another inspection. 26th of March 2019, good. Right, that's not good enough in our schools. That's not good enough. But the list of things to do with this is unbelievable. The school's arrangements for safeguarding students do not meet statutory requirement. Leaders have not ensured that students are as safe and secure as possible. Teaching overall is not good. Teachers do not set work that is challenging enough for the most able. Teachers sometimes set work which is too hard for the least able. But they're not teachers. These are support staff, these. Or they're not proper teachers. They're only teaching because they speak Urdu. This is a big problem we have in our country in the teaching thing. Not enough of the guidance given by teachers to students about how they can improve their work. So it was supposed to be mixed. Now, I'm not 100,000,000,000% sure of this, but I'm sure that they give their authorization for the school as long as it was mixed. And when they've gone in, it's just all girls. No, they don't want to do it our way. They want to do it their way. In the other school, you won't get them talking about this. When Ofsted went in, I'll just get the link up. Hold on, I'll just get it up. Children are formally investigated for an alleged Islamic takeover plot are being given a dismal start to life in school. This is Clarksfield Primary. The way boys and girls relate to each other, with boys dominating the playground. Now, I said this to a lefty in London, and he turned around and said, no, the figures show that lads play with lads and girls play with girls. But in this particular school, the girls didn't play with any of the toys. You know, like in a typical school that around the Christian school, whatever, if a girl wanted to play with a toy and someone had it, she'd go up and ask if she could play with it. Or if it wasn't being used, she'd go and play with it. These girls just stood in the corner and didn't do nothing until the boys left all the items on the floor. So already they're learning misogynic ways already. They're learning that women are second class in primary school. Pupils with special education needs taught in toilets. Poorly trained staff who don't speak English properly. All they do is speak Urdu. These aren't trained teachers, right? They're not. They just support people. They're nothing to do with teaching. You can't teach. And the lads were not going to give women the kind of respect that you want. Dangerous equipment such as sorbing, expectation of the children being too low. Governors who have not held the management team accountable because they are too busy deciding who should be the chair. So the governors of the school, so these are the Muslims in the area, all arguing about who wants to be the chairman. They're not doing enough. They don't care about the processes of learning and things like that. And I've talked about this before. Some guy said after the Oldham riots, the council are putting more investing into schooling and getting to teach these kids. Probably they haven't taught them nothing. They haven't taught them nothing. The kids are coming out of school barbaric. 100 kicks to a man's head and body by 3 15-year-olds who said it because they felt like they were doing it. Homophobic attacks across Oldham and Rochdale by Muslims, or Asians, Muslims will say. And of course, we've got the council run by gangsters. So the school thing is a big thing in Oldham. There's more than this. These are the ones that have been proven I've got Ofsted reports for. But there's other schools that I haven't got Ofsted reports of, but I know there's shit going down at them. A lot of the schools now, you've got security guards at them because the kids are that wild. And I'm sorry, but there was a school in Huddersfield and it was all the ethnic minorities fighting against each other. Somalians versus Pakistanis versus this gang. It's ridiculous. And now a lot of schools in England have metal detectors and stuff like that. There was a particular college in Harper. I'll just get the link up. college student and a teenager were injured during a knife attack at McDonald's restaurant in North Manchester. Police said 2 teenage boys, 14 sticks, and are in custody. 17-year-old, blah, blah. Don't say nothing about the people's ethnicity. Now, this is near where I used to live at 97. And there's an homeless guy who has a spot outside McDonald's. So we went questioning him after, and I said, you know, the people who come out of the college and were involved in the knife fight, were any of them white? And he said, no. Are you sure? There was nobody white involved. He said everyone who come out who were involved in the stabbing was a person of colour. You just couldn't make this up. And this is going on across the board, across Oldham, Greater Manchester. Our kids aren't being taught. They're coming out deranged, knife crime addicts. I mean, I was attacked by 2 15-year-olds and a 17-year-old when we got stabbed, and they had knives on them. It's just ridiculous, it is. And they won't do nothing with them. So, yeah, this school thing, especially in Oldham, is big. And I'll say this now. I'm very trusting me of a lot of the time. I don't trust Raja Mia. Something in my gut just gives me a big thing. He says a lot of the right things, calls out the council on his bone. I just don't trust the guy, me. I really don't. I really don't. So the picture you see in there is Oldham Council Deputy Arut Shah. Arut Shah's brother, convicted money launderer to do with drugs. That'll be heroin. Imran Ali, Irish Immy, heroin dealer. He's just been convicted of a hate crime in December. And I think it was a hate crime against LGBT people. Zahir Hussain, convicted kidnapper, gang member who tortured and sexually abused his victims. I remember the case. And she's all right to hang around with all these, but let's say when I run for councillor, if I'd have been stood next to, like, say, Paul Golding, I'd be all over papers, but Paul Golding hasn't killed anybody, or he hasn't dealt in drugs as far as I know. If I have like, say, if I have a picture next to somebody who might have been, who's committed crime or something, I would be all over the papers and stuff like that. Nothing happens to this Arut Shah. She can hang around with all these guys who are nasty men. And I've told you that the Pakistanis in Oldham, heroin is their money. They brought it in, and that's what they sell. Honestly, they're all linked to it somewhere down the line. So it's Oldham for you. But the school thing has been quite a long time thing over the years, and it's changing in Oldham. A particular estate, it started the new year in this estate, and when people were taking the kids, all of a sudden it went from mixed, which was white, mixed race, few black, Asian, stuff like that, to nearly all black. So the families of the white children complained, and so they should. They don't have to put up with that. And the school got more mixed. They got more divided. But the problem was there was no school spaces. That's why they were all in that school. Schooling in Oldham is under pressure. I've talked about this before. There's been a thousands of % increase in the amount of child spaces. And with immigration coming in from Eastern Europe, there's no school spaces, and people are struggling. There was a Pakistani guy on a video saying he has to take his kids to 3 different schools because of what's happening now, and it's through immigration. I think something like 30 to 40% of the people coming in from Eastern European are under 18. That's in that kind of figure. And of course, I've had the lockdown, so these kids aren't being taught properly. When they go home, and the mum and dad teaching them English, if they can speak it. Are they going through the course lessons with them and stuff like that? Probably not as well as should be expected. So it's a big issue, this school thing, and in Oldham and across the country. I just wanted to get up and say something about it. But I'll just leave you with the fact that who runs Oldham Council, and that she's linked to all them nasty men. I'll look. Let me just see if I can find that Zaya Hussein. So remember I was saying how the guy said after the Oldham riots, oh, well, we're teaching them better. We're going to, we're showing the kids and we're going to teach them better. They're not teaching them. This is from 2010. This sadistic torture gang, including 2 men from Oldham, have been jailed for a total of 32 years. They helped snatch 4 young men from Bradford before sexually abusing and beating them at the gang's stronghold in Coppice. Load of gangsters. Honestly, a load of gangsters. All these people need shooting. Well, actually, if they've got dual passports, they need deporting. If they haven't, then they should be deported to the country of the parents' birth, because they've been there. We don't want these kind of people in our country. He's going to have kids. He'll end up being gangsters and stuff like that. Trusted lieutenants of Bradford mastermind Mazahar Abbas seeking revenge after his armed robbers stole his drug stash. Fuck off. They should all be shot. All 3 men pleaded guilty to conspiracy to kidnap the 4 victims and assaulting them. So that's 2010, and that picture that I showed you is not 2010. That's later than 2010, and she's in the picture with him. Now, if I'd have been in a picture with a convicted kidnapper who sexually abused his victims, I would be all over the papers. And now when I run as an independent in Oldham, or when next time, I'm going to get this attacked off the left. You've said this, you've said that, you've had the picture with this guy. But just remember, when that happens, remember who Arut Shah is, Jim McManaman's second in command, or deputy of the leader of the Labour Party, and linked to stinking scumbag gangsters like these lot. And it's drugs that they deal with. My solution would be a gun to the head, pop, pop, pop. Right? I'm sorry, but it's a big issue. The Class A drugs are a big issue to me. They've ruined Oldham and shitloads of towns across the country, all these Class A drugs. Got people addicted to it. And then they've got cocaine and all white people sniffing cocaine. It's ruining our society. The most I'll go is sticking to smoking a weed, and that's it. I don't touch anything else. I'm not a particular big drinker, and that's it. But these kind of drugs have a knock-on effect that affects everything from the National Health Service to the council, to housing, to families, breaking up our families. But Oldham Council have allowed it all these years. Political correctness has allowed heroin to come out of Oldham. Massive things. There was a case where X million pounds worth getting to the northeast. The guy was running it from prison. Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. Welcome to Oldham. Remember now, it wasn't Raja Mia who started Welcome to Oldham. It was me. Look at my Twitter. It's 9 years old. Look at posts before pre-referendum. Never heard of him then. Look at my posts. Welcome to Oldham. Thank you very much. Oh, anyway, if you'd like to subscribe to any of my channels, I'm on Gab. I'm streaming on D Live, Facebook, VK. If you'd like to donate anything, my PayPal link is there. I do have my bank details up somewhere, but whatever. Anything will help to what I do. I'm still going to Scotland for all the haters who've been on. I'm still end up going to Scotland sometime. I've got some work to do up there. But yeah, Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.